Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. Hope everyone's having a lovely day and getting ready for the Turkey Day festivities tomorrow. Everyone is going to have a great Thanksgiving. Why? Because we are draining the swamp, and President Trump is looking at another 4 years come 2020. And one of those reasons that I say that is because the FBI has mysteriously found additional Hillary Clinton emails. Where are they from? I have a couple of ideas. Also, great news. It looks like General Flynn's sentencing hearing has been delayed until after the IG Horowitz report is released in December. That is great news because something tells me there's going to be some stuff in there that the prosecution is not going to be too happy to see revealed. And then finally, the Mexican government has responded to President Trump's decision to designate the cartels as terror organizations. This is great news, and I have heard reports about amassing troops at the border. This could go a couple of different ways, and we will have a lot to talk about with regards to it. So please, everyone, sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor. The new Patriot Brother X2020 flashlight model is here, and with all the common threats nowadays to our freedom, one of the best things you can invest in for your home protection is a Patriot Brother flashlight. And why not purchase one of the best flashlights on the market, the Patriot Brother X2020 flashlight? The holidays are quickly approaching, and that is why Patriot Flashlight wants to extend a special 25% Patriot discount to all customers through the month of November for Black Friday. Patriot Flashlight is the perfect gift for you and your loved ones this holiday season. Supply is limited, and this is the very last chance to get 25% off the new 2020 model before they sell out. Take advantage now and give you and your family the gift of night protection. Please visit www.patriotflashlight.com. Well, trust Ray, starting out the day, the FBI has mysteriously uncovered new emails from Hillary Clinton. Were they found on Anthony Weiner's laptop? I think we've been waiting a long time to learn about those emails that we already knew were stored on that laptop. Conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch on Wednesday released a court filing that revealed the FBI found more Hillary Clinton emails. They mysteriously found these new emails because it was recently turned over to the State Department that they were previously not released. It's unclear exactly where they were found, but we've heard previously that there were additional emails stored on the Weiner laptop, and nothing has come out about that until now. Now, from Judicial Watch, it says the Federal Bureau of Investigation recently sent the State Department additional documents as part of their ongoing interagency consultation process in connection with another FOIA litigation. The State Department is working to determine whether that set of documents includes any responsive, non-duplicative agency records that have not already been processed. The State Department will promptly update Judicial Watch in the court once that initial review is complete. Now, the FBI stopped producing Clinton emails about a year ago, but they keep mysteriously finding more. Hillary Clinton originally gave the State Department 55,000 pages of emails and argued that the remaining 33,000 emails were personal and related to Chelsea's wedding and yoga. The FBI, however, discovered 72,000 pages of documents that Hillary Clinton tried to withhold or erase with BleachBit. Judicial Watch forced the FBI to turn over several tranches of Hillary Clinton emails through FOIA lawsuits and discovered Hillary had transmitted classified material over a private server, including the name of a clandestine Clowns in America agent. The fix was in, said Judicial Watch boss Tom Fitton. It is astonishing news that the FBI mysteriously found more Hillary Clinton emails. Were they on Anthony Weiner's laptop, at James Comey's house, or on Peter Strzok's cell phone? Asked Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. This disturbing development further highlights how the fix was in on the Clinton email scandal and why a criminal investigation needs to be reopened by Attorney General Barr. And let's go ahead and take a look at this tweet from Judicial Watch. And here is the Judicial Watch coverage of the fact that the State Department has produced these additional emails. Don't forget, earlier this year, Judicial Watch announced it had received 756 pages of emails that were among the materials Clinton tried to delete or destroy, several of which were classified and, of course, transmitted over her insecure private bathroom email server. Now, this is all part of that ongoing lawsuit that Judicial Watch has going, and the court has already ordered discovery into 3 specific areas. Those would be whether Secretary Clinton's use of a private email server was intended to stymie FOIA. I know how I feel about that. Whether the State Department's intent to settle this case in late 2014 and early 2015 amounted to bad faith. It sure seems like it. And whether the State Department has adequately searched for records responsive to Judicial Watch's request. Now, the question there is, regardless of whether they adequately searched, did they find anything and then refuse to turn it over? I think that we've seen a pattern of abuse in cases such as this, where the government fully knows exactly what they have and what they need to deliver. But unfortunately, we still have holdovers, people in the Justice Department and in the FBI even, who are loyalists to Hillary Clinton and the former failed presidential administration. So I would say that they've probably got lots of information that they have never produced for Judicial Watch, that they are court-ordered to have already done. So I agree with Tom Fitton here. I think Attorney General Barr does need to create a new criminal investigation into the handling of Hillary Clinton's emails, and it needs to happen sooner rather than later. But something tells me it's not going to happen until 2020. Once we're looking at a 2-term presidency for President Trump, I think we're going to see a lot more movement. This is not going to be another Obama. This is not going to be another Clinton, where presidents make promises in their first term stating that they'll have more flexibility in their second term and then deliver on nothing except their friends and cronies, given preferential treatment, given sweetheart deals in places like Ukraine or Romania or Iraq. I really do believe that things are changing. The winds are a-changing, the times are a-changing, and we are going to see these people brought to justice, guys. Have faith. It's coming. All right, guys, incredible news. Breaking update here in the General Flynn case. Sentencing has been delayed until after the IG report is released in December. Earlier this month, attorney Sidney Powell joined Lou Dobbs to discuss the latest updates on the U.S. government's court case against General Michael Flynn. Sidney Powell filed a motion in October revealing that General Michael Flynn was indeed set up by the FBI with a political ambush, damaging leaks, and even altered 302 reports. Powell revealed, among other things, that former FBI lawyer Lisa Page edited General Michael Flynn's 302 report, then lied to the DOJ about those edits. Sidney Powell told Dobbs she is asking for all the evidence they asked for in their original motion to be produced, and then we will seek to move to dismiss for egregious government conduct. I'm sure the evidence is going to support that. Frankly, we probably have enough already. Now, on Tuesday, the DOJ requested a delay in the Flynn case until the release of the Inspector General report on December 9th, and the update is it has, in fact, been delayed until after the report is released in December. Now, the Crap News Network is reporting that Michael Flynn, President Donald Trump's first national security advisor, will not be sentenced on December 18th as previously planned, a federal judge said Wednesday, to await the release of an internal Justice Department report on FBI surveillance. Judge Emmett Sullivan agreed with prosecutors and Flynn's lawyers who asked for Flynn's long-awaited sentencing hearing to be delayed because they won't be fully prepared for it until the DOJ Inspector General's report regarding that FBI surveillance as part of its early Russia probe is actually published. Now, the Inspector General's review is due out on December 9th, as we were told by Lindsey Graham not too long ago. General Flynn pled guilty in December of 2017, becoming an early and key cooperator in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. Now, we know that Michael Flynn gave absolutely no information to the Mueller team in regards to the Russia probe because there was nothing to give. Flynn was set to be sentenced last December, but asked to delay the hearing after a judge reacted badly to his arguments. One of the things that the judge seemed to be upset about was the fact that Michael Flynn pled guilty, because it didn't look to him like he lied. It became obvious that these 302s were edited, and it was pretty obvious that he was ambushed. Now, we've heard in the past that the only reason General Flynn pled guilty, and I've heard this from reliable sources who actually have firsthand information, Michael Flynn's son, Michael Flynn Jr., was threatened with legal action by the Mueller team. They used a father's love for his son to get him to plead guilty to crimes that he never committed, to basically take the pain on for himself, to ruin his life, to save the future of his child. This man clearly has great love for not only his family, but for the country, and I cannot wait to see what happens after this IG report is released. Michael Flynn deserves to have the entire case dismissed, and he deserves to have all of his legal fees paid for. Sidney Powell has been such a blessing for him and his case, and thank you, Sidney, for doing what you can to save this American hero. And now, in a bit of impeachment news sent over by my good friend White Hat Sombrero Blanco, Democrats are pushing impeachment to the next phase with a December 4th hearing. The Intelligence Committee is wrapping up, and now it's time for Jerry Nadler and his House Judiciary Committee to pick up the slack. However, this is not going to be a good thing for the Democrats, because the further they push this impeachment narrative along, the closer we get to a trial in the Senate, and that spells disaster. Now, the House Judiciary Committee, that would be Chairman Gerald Nadler, is set to take over the impeachment probe of President Donald Trump. They announced this on Tuesday, scheduling a hearing for next week as they push closer to a possible vote on actual charges of high crimes and misdemeanors. No mistake, the fact that this is happening just before the IG report. They're going to need to keep this going, otherwise their whole thing's going to crumble. The Judiciary panel scheduled the hearing as the separate Intelligence Committee released the last two transcripts from its depositions, including from a White House budget official who detailed concerns among colleagues as Trump ordered them, through intermediaries, to put a hold on military aid to Ukraine. Trump ordered the hold as he was pressuring Ukraine's president to investigate Democrats. Now, we know President Trump was quoted as saying, now directly from President Trump, "I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. I want Zelensky to do the right thing." Holding up any of this aid was due to corruption. It was not due to any favors or quid pro quo for political motivations. That has been clearly shown by all of the testimony in the Intelligence Committee. Now, they are wrapping up their phase of the probe, and they're preparing a report for next month. Committee Chairman Adam Schiff has said the report could be released soon after the House returns from its Thanksgiving Day break. Now, Adam Schiff has also been quoted as saying that he's not certain on carrying through with impeachment. He said that he needs to speak with his constituents because the public perception of this impeachment is that there's absolutely nothing there. There is nothing approaching the level of high crimes and misdemeanors, and certainly nothing that they would be able to convict the president on. Again, I think the president wants a trial in the Senate, because as soon as the Republicans are in charge, then people like Adam Schiff, people like the Bidens, they are going to be forced to testify. That includes the fake whistleblower. All right, and finally, excellent news in terms of draining the international swamp. If you'll remember, President Trump had pledged to declare the cartels in Mexico as terror organizations, and the Mexican government has responded to President Trump's decision. The Mexican government has responded to President Donald Trump's decision to label Mexican cartels as terror organizations, saying that they want to discuss weapons and drugs that enter Mexico from the United States. The government said in the statement that Mexico's Secretary of Foreign Relations, Marcelo Ebrard, intends to call Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to set up a high-level meeting between officials from both nations. By virtue of the good relations that exist between the two countries, the government of Mexico will seek to have a high-level meeting as soon as possible to present Mexico's position and know the views of the United States authorities. As in other issues on the bilateral agenda, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will promote dialogue and a roadmap that allows us to move forward to reduce the flow of weapons and money to organized crime from the United States to Mexico, as well as chemical and drug precursors that cross our territory to the North Country, the statement said, which was published in Spanish. Now, Trump announced his plan during an interview with Bill O'Reilly on Tuesday, where he was specifically asked if he intended to do so. One of the things you said to me is that if another country murdered 100,000 Americans with guns, we would go to war with that country. Yet the Mexican drug cartels kill more than 100,000 Americans every year by the importation of dangerous narcotics, O'Reilly began. Are you going to designate those cartels in Mexico as terror groups and start hitting them with drones and things like that? Trump responded that he didn't want to say what he was going to do, but that they would be designated. So you are going to designate the Mexican cartels as terror groups, O'Reilly asked again? again? Yeah, I will be. I have been working on that for the last 90 days. You know, designation is not that easy. You have to go through a process, and we are well into that process, Trump said. This is wonderful news. And now that I read through that article, it does make sense that the Mexican government would want to talk about certain things taking place too. Obviously, we know from Fast and Furious that there were a lot of weapons that were going south of the border, and those were actually provided by the United States government. Hopefully, that type of thing is no longer happening, but even still, we've got all those weapons that are out there on the black market that are being used as international commerce between these criminal cartels that are down below the southern border, as well as the cartels that we know exist here in America. Organized crime is a big problem, and it is a major part of the swamp. Now, I'm just going to speculate here and state that there's a couple of different things that the government can do. By designating them as these particular organizations, that's going to allow for the movement of troops to the southern border and for the use of drones for strikes from the sky and in certain remote areas of Mexico. But the criminal aspect is a huge part of it. If this is an international criminal cabal, as we know it to be, then the RICO statute would apply in this case. All they need to do is, with the help of the Mexican government and the help of the military intelligence community, they just need to figure out who those top-level people are and how they are sending money back and forth and where that money is eventually going. Now, if you'll remember from my friend Jeffrey Peterson, Real Jeffrey P, on Twitter, he had stated that there was most certainly cartel money being brought in and used to fund the Democratic apparatus here in America. Not only that, but also funding major criminal actions taking place here all across North America. So I'm going to speculate and say that this designation of these cartels down in Mexico, this is going to end up with some blowback and some spillover here to perhaps some prominent people in America, at the very least in business and at the very most in politics. All right, real quick update from yesterday's video. We have the full list of the acronyms for these military intelligence agencies, and it looks like I was right, except for SRD. Looks like that is Special Research Detachment with the U.S. Army. What could they be researching? Maybe new and interesting ways to dig up intelligence using Anons like us? Who knows, but it's pretty cool. All right, guys, that is all that I have for you today. I am about to hit the road and go see the love of my life and have the best Thanksgiving ever. I hope that you guys have the best Thanksgiving ever, and I hope that everyone is having a wonderful day. Please remember to love your friends and neighbors and be kind to each other online. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Hey guys, it's Red Pill. I just wanted to say one more thing. Thank you very much to all my patrons. Thank you to everyone who supports this channel. If anyone wants to help out, there are links in the description of this video below. Please make sure to subscribe to my backup channels in case anything happens here. I will begin publishing there. And if you guys have any questions or tips for me, please send me an email at redpill78@protonmail.com. Also, don't forget to make sure that you have notifications turned on for this channel. When you go to my channel page, there is a little bell. Click that bell and choose all notifications. And if you don't have one already, go sign up on Twitter and follow me there and make sure that your notifications are on. Because even if you don't get a notification from YouTube, I always have a notification that goes out on my Twitter page that lets you know every time I put out a new video. I look forward to reading your messages. I look forward to getting the news to you on a daily basis, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the next episode.